The problem that we have is when other people come into this country and escape from the hellish conditions of their home country and try to input those same policies into our country. I encourage all Americans to remember their history. Do you think that the Somali people are trying to take over Minneapolis?
Hold on, me, man. Sorry. Out the way, out the way. Out the way. You will get knocked down. Move.
It just gets bad in here, man. I just don't want to be here no more. I pray to God I'm just tired of you guys talking about me and just always talking shit. These guys just don't even know how to just leave me alone. I'm just so tired. No.
So Trump just said that Somalians don't belong in America anymore. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the Somali community in Minnesota has been falsely diagnosing children with autism to receive taxpayer handouts and taking advantage of the system. They then take those funds and they funnel it back home to Somalia, subsequently funding a terrorist organization known as Al-Shabaab. This new Medicaid system would cost taxpayers $2.6 million, at least that's what they said. The first year, 2020, was $3 million, 2021 was $20 million, and then just 3 years later, it quintupled to $100 million, and 2025 was on track to cost taxpayers $120 million for the year. 40% of Somalian households in Somalia receive remittances from, relatives, friends, family, whatever, in the United States, totaling the annual remittance to Somalia $1.7 billion, which is more than the Somalian government's budget. Here's how it works. The Minnesota taxpayers work hard. They have the job, they pay their taxes, they hope that in return for taking care of the system will take care of them in exchange. It doesn't, because the Somalians who are here are taking advantage. They're misdiagnosing children with autism and claiming to need more government assistance than they really do. They then take the money, the government assistance that they have stolen, the money that they have stolen from taxpayers, and they send it back to Somalia, where it is received by numerous groups, one of which happens to be an Al-Qaeda-backed terror group named Al-Shabaab. Who could have possibly guessed that people coming from a country with an IQ of 67 wouldn't actually contribute anything to society?
Somalis may have to go back to Somalia. President Trump has proposed to end TPS status for Somalis. Most Somali immigrants in America are here on a temporary protective status. Basically, their home country, Somalia, is unsafe, so they're here on a work authorization. However, if that's to be ended, things can happen for the Somali community. First, the loss of legal status. Secondly, they're not able to work in the United States. And then most importantly, the risk of deportation. There's a huge Somali community in the Minnesota St. Paul area. And of course, if the TPS status has ended, it will affect their community tremendously.
This is a topic that needs much awareness. It is something that needs not to be ignored. Whatever Trump is doing to Somalis in Minnesota, I strongly agree to it. These people take away taxpayers' money in the name of forging documents and using autism for kids to gain money from hardworking taxpayers in Minnesota, whether you're a black person, whether you're a white person. This is truly unacceptable. With the ongoing deportation of Somalis in Minnesota, I give Trump 10 over 10 because here in Africa, my country being Kenya, our president, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, sold us to Somalis. They even have their own town. It is heavily infested with Somalis. Even when Trump is deporting Somalis back to their home country, you'll be surprised that our president will receive this badge because he is corrupted. The Somalis have corrupted his mind up. They even have a police station in this town. Police officers, our own police officers, bow down to the rules made by these Somalis in this town. Why is this happening? Is this an era where Somalis want to take over countries? So, Trump saw this and Trump decided to take action as fast as possible. Now, these Somalis want to turn to black Americans for their support. Black people, this war is not for you. Kindly stay away from these Somalis because whatever your president is saying about these people is true. They are taking your taxpayers' money instead of investing in America. They are taking it back to their home country. They are building their country. They are building their own country, leaving America with no investment. Big up to Trump for doing the deportation of Somalis in Minnesota. If you're a black person in Minnesota, what's the situation over there? I hear there's a high number of Somalis living in Minnesota and they want to take the government in Minnesota. You can also see Somalis vying for major public offices like the mayor. Now let us focus on what we hear today. Black people, ignore calls of Somalis wanting to drag you in their mess. Do not try and support these people because you will be left in the limelight. This page is all about uplifting black Americans, warning black Americans, giving black Americans major trending topics in America. So far so good. This is a major Trump policy that black Americans and white Americans are accepting and acknowledging that their president is truly watching up the American people. Black Americans, stay warned. Do not indulge in any protest where Somalis want to drag you in so that you can help them overcome the deportation Trump has given. Let them build their home country because Somalia is a third world country. Let's watch the following videos and we'll come back at the end and discuss more strong implications of what Trump is doing. Black people, this page is for you. Kindly like, subscribe, and share to your family and friends. Those who live in Minnesota, kindly share the current situation over there. Let's watch the following videos, family.
I have news. Somalians in Minnesota are pretending to have autism to steal your taxpayer dollars. In 2023, displaced Somalians sent back $1.7 billion to their Somali government. 40% of households in Somalia get paychecks from Somalis in America. They're getting this cash from scamming COVID programs, SNAP Medicaid. So for example, autism claims to Medicaid in Minnesota went from 3 million in 2018 to 399 million in 2023. So 1 in 16 Somali 4-year-olds have autism. That autism treatment is then administered by Somalis, reimbursed by federal taxpayer dollars, and then that stolen money is sent back home in the form of remittances, which is just cash as a gift. So essentially, Somali populations in Michigan and Minnesota are running these fraudulent crime rings that no one's talking about. So how did this happen? Well, for the past 30 years, Somalis have been under TPS, temporary protected status in America. Now, usually you only give TPS to some after an earthquake or a tsunami because you can't immediately send them back home to their country. In this case, Somalis just don't want to be sent back home. Somalia is obviously in Africa. It's a third world country. It's a mess because they can't figure out how to govern themselves. But it's not undergoing a natural disaster, so why are they not being sent home? Lord only knows, but after 30 years, President Trump is finally doing away with that policy. He's ended TPS for Somalis. And I would just love for them to stay forever, except the problem is that this group is not assimilated. They view themselves as separate people. They're police officers, they're local leaders, they're news people. They all speak Somali. They do not respect native-born Americans, and in fact, they refer to their white police officers as foreigners. They have ubiquitous control over law enforcement in Dearborn and Minneapolis especially. Here's a video of a police officer apologizing because he exposed Somali criminal activity in Minneapolis.
Out of context in a way that's caused harm, I apologize and I'm sorry for that because that's not my intention.
I mean, there's nothing normal about this. It's been completely and utterly ignored by the media, and it's fraudulent criminal activity that we're just whatever. But get ready to hear a lot more about it very soon because I have a feeling the Trump administration is going in, deporting, and cracking down on the fraud that's grown rampant in these northern cities.
You now see, Americans are angry because Minnesota is full of hardworking black people and white people. They work hand in hand to pay taxes to the US government so that services can be delivered to them. What do you think about this episode? If you're a black person in Minnesota, will you go and march on the streets? This page is for you black Americans. Kindly subscribe, share this video up, and like this video up. See you on the comment section. Let's engage and talk more on the comment section below. Thank you for watching and goodbye.